going on, everybody? Welcome to the stream. Let me turn the music down a little bit. So yeah, 20 years, man. That doesn't make any goddamn sense. That doesn't make a bit of goddamn sense, does it? Are we living in a simulation? Have the past 20 years just not existed? Did I just start my life for the first time today? It feels like a completely different life. Does it not? To me, at least, it does. Maybe some of you guys weren't even born. So it feels like a completely different world, a different life. So much has happened in the past 20 years. Holy shit. It's crazy. Crazy. What's up, Geekdom? Good to see you, man. I don't care what anybody says. Yes, it's boring in the middle, but when I was 15 and I saw this movie, I loved it. I was 4 days away from 13. And I kind of felt the same way at the time. You know, it felt different than what I used to, because my entire body might as well have been a giant original trilogy tattoo. That is what I grew up with. That is all that I knew. That's all we all knew, and it did feel different, right? But I'm with you on that. And only in my the older I got, I found that like year after year after year after year, turning 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and so on, I got more cynical, more cynical, more cynical, and more cynical. It's interesting. It's interesting how that works, right? But welcome to the stream, everybody. Geekdom, good to see you as always, man. Hope we can have another handshake in the not too distant future. That was already 2 years ago. Time flies, man. But yeah. Command you, Sans, David of the Romulan Star Empire, Diego Corrales, Knight of Sean, Luis Flores, Hello Darth Vader, Jared Montag, Braden Durham, PP, Versatile Element, The Amazing Spider-Man 2014, Hired Gun, Super Pineapple Apple Jones. Why did I read that as Super Pineapple Apple Jokes? Yeah. They're crazy. Well, I appreciate the kind words there, Geekdom. Yeah, in 20... What was it? 20... God, was that in 2017? I think it was. I met Dash, Star, and Geekdom 101 as I was walking out of the Star Wars Celebration convention, and they were walking in. Just kind of crazy. Still one of my favorite little interactions ever. It was neat. I appreciate that, man. Nice. I'm gonna be doing it for about an hour, so we'll shoot the shit for about an hour. Talk Phantom Menace, talk Star Wars, talk life. Yeah, Greedo, I saw you on the Star Wars Explained video. Braden, yeah, that was neat. Alex and Molly got a ton of other Star Wars YouTubers and people like that. Got them to record little reactions to the movie, what they thought of it, you know, what their favorite scenes are, some favorite memories from it, and I came down to the wire. I told them I said, if you don't get it from me by Thursday, go on without me, because I got a shitload of stuff going on nowadays, and it's really hard to find time to record anything. So I didn't get it to them on Thursday, but they sent me a tweet or a DM Friday morning, and they were like, hey, we still got time if you want to send it in. I was like, all right, give me a second. I put my daughter down for a nap. I just hopped on the microphone, immediately recorded a video. It was just super quick. But yeah, turned out good. I haven't watched the entire thing yet. I scrubbed through a little bit earlier, but it was a really well done, just kind of compilation. Very positive kind of vibes, you know? But yeah. I was literally waiting for you to pop up in the video, and I was so happy to see you. Nice, King. So yeah, I actually wrote and recorded a script for just me kind of like a 20-year Phantom Menace anniversary video, just where I kind of give my little thoughts here and there. I think the video in total is like 5 minutes long, just, you know, talking about it a little bit. I planned on finishing that today, but me and my wife actually signed on the dotted line for... Oh, one sec.
My first Star Wars experience. Lightsabers,
Nice.
aliens, Jar Jar, and my first crush, Padme. Man, I enjoyed it. Before we were cynical holes. Shout out to Kenny. We're heading to SC to my moonshine.
Nice, Matt. Thank you so much, Matt, for the continued support this month. I greatly appreciate that. You and Kenny sound like the ideal best bud drinking partners. So I dig it, man. And, well, I'm going to read this as the robot did. Matt says, wow, 20 years. My first Star Wars experience, lightsabers, aliens, Jar Jar, and my first crush. Padme. Man, I enjoyed it. Before we were cynical assholes. Shout out to Kenny. We're heading to South Carolina to buy apple pie moonshine. That sounds delicious. I've had the apple pie moonshine up in the Smoky Mountains. I don't know if... Can't remember the name. Is it Old Smoky Mountain Moonshine? I think that's what it's called. But yeah, so that was your first Star Wars experience ever? Like, that hadn't seen the original trilogy and that kind of stuff? Maybe you had. But I'm sure you remember this, Matt. The hype, the build-up, the anticipation. Yeah, decades without Star Wars. And now it was finally back. Well, 16 years without Star Wars. And now, boom, it was back. It had been talked about. George Lucas has hinted at it. People always question him about, are you going to make more Star Wars, George? And then, boom, it was back. That's what I really remember. I remember the hype and the pre-hype and the post-hype more than I do actually going to see the movie. I know I saw it twice in the theater. I saw it once with my mom and my sister and a couple of her friends, I think. That was the second time that I saw it. And the first time that I saw it, I think I saw it with I'm pretty sure I saw it with my dad and my buddy's dad and my buddy. But I have a bad memory to begin with, but for whatever reason, oh, nice, Matt. I didn't see the trilogy till I was 15. I literally asked my uncle who Jabba and Han Solo were. I'm ashamed. No. That's cool. That's interesting. But yeah, I have vivid memories of like the pre and the post hype. I have vivid memories of playing with the action figures and all that kind of stuff. But my memory is so shaky when it comes to actually remembering what it was like in that theater. I don't it's weird. I don't really remember how it was. But yeah. It's just hard to believe, Matt, that it's been 20 years. I mean, 20 years went by like that. And like I said, it feels like a completely different life. You know, it was so long ago. I'm 32 now. And it's just, you know, I mean, we all get older and whatnot, but it's so strange. It just doesn't feel, I don't know, the passage of time is a very odd thing. Very odd thing. But Matt, I appreciate the hell out of that. You know, it's a cool first Star Wars experience. I'm sure so many people had a first Star Wars experience. That was The Phantom Menace. Yeah, and yeah, I guess it's whoever is gonna. Well, I think the most important thing you said in there was before we were cynical assholes. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, when I saw the movie when I was 12, 13. I remember really enjoying it. I thought it felt different. I remember kind of thinking that, but I enjoyed it. And the older I got with each subsequent year, I got more cynical and more cynical and more cynical until eventually I started a YouTube channel when I was 25 in 2011, and I just started like shitting all over the tiniest details and stuff like that, forgetting that kids really, really enjoy these things, right? That's what I love. That's what I really love about kind of seeing the ebb and flow of even my viewers and the people that watch my channel. Is when I started the channel in 2011, it was a lot of the same mindset that I had. A lot of people that would just shit all over these movies and you know, I don't know how to describe it, but it was a very one-sided conversation. And then 8 years later, in 2019, the kids that grew up with these movies as their Star Wars, these movies are their Star Wars. They have grown up and they are able to have a voice on the internet. And it's a different conversation now than it was on this channel 8 years ago, and the internet for that matter.
Hey,
oh, one sec.
I always love your streams. When do you plan on showing your daughter the saga? Also, strangely enough, my first SW in theater was the episode 1 re-release because I was too young before.
Jared, thank you so much, man. Give me one sec. But yeah, Matt, it's interesting to see kind of the evolution. I've literally witnessed kids who were speechless and powerless. Did not have a voice on the internet, grow up to have a voice. It's been like I've had a front row seat for that as somebody who makes Star Wars YouTube videos. It was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. I just got hit with a fucking wave of like prequel kids who must have just turned 18, and I was like, what the fuck? Where did this all come from? Everybody's telling me, shut up, watch the Clone Wars, watch the Clone Wars, watch the Clone Wars, shut up. It was hilarious, man. Like, I just, I enjoyed it. I didn't take it seriously, but it was kind of neat. I like it. It's kind of broadened my perspective, opened my eyes to all the things that I missed out on, But I appreciate that, Matt. And Jared Montag! Hey, Greedo, I always love your streams. When do you plan on showing your daughter the saga? Also, strangely enough, my first Star Wars in theater was the Episode 1 re-release. The 3D one? Is that Episode 1 re-release? I don't know what it was. Oh, I just burped on microphone. That's very professional. Extremely professional. Re-release. Show your daughter the original trilogy and nothing more. There you go. Yeah. We'll see. I would not restrict her. I would not restrict her like that. When did the get a re-release? Wasn't it the 3D re-release marketing? Okay, it must have just been the 3D release. Interesting. So when was that? 2010. Oh my god, it's already been that long since the 3D release? Oh no, that was 2012. Still, that's a long time. Interesting. So I do obviously I plan on showing my daughter the saga, but I don't know when. For me, I don't even remember seeing Star Wars for the first time. I must have watched it when I was, it's just always been there. You guys probably have your very first memories, the things that you remember the most, or the earliest from your life. And I do not have a time in my life where Star Wars wasn't in there in my head. At least I don't remember a time. So I don't know. Am I going to do that? The same thing with my daughter? Am I going to show her the movies when she's 2, 3, 4, and just, you know what I mean? It's interesting. I really wish I could. I really wish I could know when I first watched the movie, but nobody remembers. My parents don't even remember. But so when am I going to show her? I don't know. I'm kind of tempted to wait until maybe she's like 5 or something like that. But I think. One good question, Geekdom. One sec. Maybe like 5 or something like that, so she can kind of follow the narrative. And I'm definitely going to show her in release order. I think, for me, that just the way. I think a part of the fun of watching Star Wars in release order is also experiencing it the way the world experienced it. The way so you can see the progress of movie magic. Even you can see where creative decisions were made and maybe why they were made. It's like time capsules for different eras and generations almost. The original trilogy is a time capsule for that time. The prequels are a time capsule for that time, and the sequel trilogy is a time capsule for this time. And I like the idea of watching the Star Wars saga as it was released to the world. So yeah, I'm sure a lot of people disagree with that. But when it comes to the saga, I've always said that the original trilogy is kind of the question, and the prequel trilogy I treat as the answer. And it's more fun to watch the prequels as prequels, to me at least, than watch them as the first episode that someone ever watches. I could be wrong. I experienced Star Wars the way most people probably experienced it, from release order, just because I guess maybe if you're older than, I don't even know, if you're older than 20, I don't know, that's a good question. If you're older than 30, you definitely experienced that way. I don't know. And Geekdom, I don't know. I've seen the rumors come and go constantly, nonstop, for a long time. I'm not holding my breath. I honestly think there was kind of maybe a contractual thing in the clause of the contract that when Lucas signed, the franchise over to Disney, there had to be some verbiage in there, I would assume, that says the special editions are it. That is it. Or at least a gentleman's handshake, right? I think I could be wrong about that, but I just feel like that will be something that Disney would honor, if that is some kind of just a handshake deal even. Could be wrong. I've stopped holding my breath and getting really excited or even optimistic about that, man, because after so long of wanting it and anticipating it and rumor after rumor after rumor and never coming true and no even hint of it coming true, I've just decided to ride the wave and never get my hopes up, and if it happens, it happens. But I'm really not holding my breath, to tell you the truth. Do I think we will eventually get it? Yeah. Will it be 30 years from now? Maybe. But you never know. There's also some really great fan edits out there, Geekdom. One of them is 4K77. Really cool story. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's worth checking out, though. It's a really cool story on how they got a 35mm print, a Spanish 35mm print, great condition, and they scanned it in at 4K resolution. I think 35mm can go up to like 8K or 16K or something like that. I'm not too sure. So it's a 4K copy of the theatrical cut of Star Wars. And it's in Spanish, but they took out the audio and put in, they just layered on top some English audio. But it's pretty neat. Raptark, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support, man. I greatly appreciate that. We are so bucking old. I always, I don't feel old. I'll say that. I still feel spry. I still feel good. I'm only 32, I mean, shit, dude. I stood on the scale yesterday. I'm 199. I haven't been under 200 since my deployment in 2010. I started this journey at like 225, and I just went under 200. Fuck yeah. So no, I don't feel old. But we're getting there, right? We're getting there. It's strange to kind of see this big block. 20 years is a long time. It's strange, and it's strange to kind of look back at that time and try to piece it together in your brain as like a chunk of time. And in my head, this is the way I work it out, because maybe I'm a little macabre, but I go 20 years. Wow. Wait, I maybe have like 3 of those left. I have 3 of those 20 years left, maybe. 60 years, 92, I'd be 92. Oh, I don't even have that. I don't even have 3 of those yet left. Oh shit, maybe 2. Maybe I have 2. I would be 62. Okay, I'll be 62. Yeah. That's how my brain works. Oh my god, 20 years is nothing, and everything is so much older. Crazy. But I appreciate that, Raptark. And Kyle McGowan, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for Nick Foles? I don't know if Bortles was necessarily the issue. I think it's easy to kind of decapitate the snake, right? And the head of the snake, the captain of the ship. But if everything else below you is kind of not up to snuff, then it's easy to kind of find a scapegoat. I don't know. I'm excited for Nick Foles just because it's a change, and as a Jags fan, it's just kind of been a long time of not depression. I'll get the disappointment, and just kind of like, man, again. It always ends up being shitty. We've had like one exciting season in the past 10, 15. Well, 2007 was a pretty good season. It's been a while. So yeah, I'm more excited, not necessarily because it's Nick Foles. I'm more excited because it's a change. It's a change of pace, and it's the potential, right? The potential is what has me excited. The potential of a solid season. That's all I want. I want an exciting season. That's literally all I want. So yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, I don't know, maybe 7, maybe 6. It's kind of the same thing that Geekdom brought up. My hope and excitement for the release of the unaltered original trilogy on Blu-ray or 4K is about on par with my hype and excitement for another season of the Jacksonville Jaguars. So, we'll see, man. I appreciate that, Kyle. I know about this special 4K 77. Oh, nice, Geekdom. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Check it out, man. It's a huge download, and I would definitely recommend hooking it up to. You got to have a beefy computer. You'll see. It's a crazy download. But yeah, check it out. It's pretty neat. Pretty neat. Can't remember. Shit. What was I gonna say? I was gonna bring up a point from it, or like a little nugget, like a tech thing from it, but I can't remember what it was. What I was gonna say. Shit, I hate when that happens. But yeah, check it out for sure. And Game Station 3, thank you so much for the super chat on channel support, man. Is Jar Jar really a racist stereotype or just a goofy alien hadrosaur? I've always thought the latter. There's also there were a lot of reading the Star Wars. Oh, one sec. Oh shit. Oh, I'm way behind on super chats. I apologize. I appreciate everybody's patience. So no, I've always thought the latter. Going through my Phantom Menace video where I talked about all the past fan reactions and critic reviews was really interesting because that was brought up quite a bit, Game Station. The Phantom Menace. A lot of kind of things that were taken as either racist or ethnically, I don't know, stereotypes, I guess. And it was interesting to read, and maybe as someone who, I don't know, I don't look for that kind of stuff, and that's not the first thing that pops into my mind. I can understand why it would pop into certain people's mind. I get it. I've never seen it that way. But there, like I said, there were a lot of articles and kind of thought pieces written up about that exact thing. The Jar Jar Binks is almost like that old, was it a frog? Let's see. Oh, God. Crap. No. I think it was like an old... Not Looney Tunes. I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of interesting articles and stuff like that written about that exact topic. But I've always thought he was a goofy alien hadrosaur. Who just talked a little silly, right? That's it. But I appreciate that, man. And Carter Lovejoy, someone on Twitter from the Fandom Menace, the group big for Star Wars hate videos, is writing a book on them, and I was wondering if you saw this. No idea. Haven't seen that. Interesting. A book on them? I was wondering if you saw this. I don't even know. Honestly, I don't even know what most of that means. I'll have to check it out, I guess. Is writing a book on them and was wondering if you saw this. Oh, wait. Oh, you retracted something. Oh, shit. What? Did that disappear? Weird. No, I didn't see that. I don't know really what... I know, I guess dude, I'm so out of the fucking loop. I barely hop on anything. I barely upload. I occasionally do streams, maybe 4 times a week. The Fandom Menace, I've heard the phrase. I don't necessarily... I feel like I've said that phrase like 5 years ago. I feel, yeah, I have to go back to my videos, but I feel like I used that phrase before. Writing a book on them, and I was wondering if you saw this. No, don't know anything about it. But I appreciate the support tonight, Carter, and I'll check it out. Weird. Oh wait, Sully, you're Oh shit, Sully. Hold on. What's going on? Sully, why are your messages getting retracted? I'm very curious. I can read it. Dude, you absolutely have to try remade podcasting game. Oh, that's not it. Sully, do you see that? Do you see that your you and Carter's super chats were retracted? Oh, wait. Okay. Now it just popped up. Did you do that, Sully, or did you or did it automatically do that? Was that a bug or something? Weird. I'm curious. But Sully Hogs, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support, man. I greatly appreciate that. It's always good to see you, man. Hey, Grito, how would you feel about Stephen King writing a Star Wars book? You know, well, this is kind of funny. I don't know if I've ever read a Stephen King book. I always have this urge, this itch to read Stephen King. Every Halloween, around like, mid-October, I'm like, I'm going to read a Stephen King book. I've never read one. And I never do. Maybe this year, since I have the Kindle. Well, I had the Kindle last year and I didn't even do that. Maybe I'll read it. Maybe I'll read one this year. But my thing is, well, obviously Stephen King is a tried and true author. He is one of the most popular authors of all time. And apparently people love his work. He's so proficient and prolific. Of course I would want somebody like that to write a Star Wars book. There's a reason he's where he's at, right? I don't know what it would be. I don't know. I mean, he's got some range too. He wrote things like It. He also wrote Stand By Me, which when you think of Stand By Me, you don't really think of Stephen King, but it is. And he's got a lot of range. So I think something like that would be neat. I don't think that'll ever happen. They seem to be getting. They're not going to get like a Stephen King to write a Star Wars book. It seems like they're getting a lot of. Not really small, well, I guess compared relative to Stephen King, some smaller authors to write some Star Wars books and whatnot. But yeah, I appreciate that, man. Is the AOTC romance better than 50 Shades Game Station 3? I'm going to say no. I'm just going to say no. I've never seen 50 Shades. I've never read it, but I know someone who has. Never mind. So no, I'm gonna say no. What do you guys think? People who have seen 50 Shades and AOTC, which has better romance? I could answer this question if I had seen the latter, but you got one that's like kind of a throwback to, well, at least attempting to be Shakespearean. And then the other one is just like, I don't even know. I don't know. Let's see. Who's seen it? AOTC, neither. Definitely not 50. I don't know, man. Sully Hugs, you should read it first. It's a long read, though. Yeah, that one out of everything that I've seen hasn't really been the one that pops out to me. The one that I've always wanted to read was shit. Let me look them up. And I think it was a relatively newer one. Oh my god, he's written so many. That's so crazy. Okay. Well, yeah, I don't really know much about it. I barely remember there was a made-for-TV movie a long time ago that I watched a couple times. Barely remember that. Oh, he's 71. Interesting. But all right, maybe I'll put it on the list, the front and center list. Let me see how many pages. 11, almost 1,200 pages. That's a big ass book. That is a big ass book. Oh, the page count is 1138 according to Google. Interesting. But I'll check it out, Sully. I'll plan on reading a little bit of it this Halloween. How about that? And Game Station 3, what about the Twilight romance? I've never seen that either. I've never seen a Twilight movie. I've never seen a 50 Shades movie. So I bet they're very similar. Actually, you know what? I would bet that the romance in Twilight is maybe a little more realistic. Is it? Do people argue? Is there butting of heads? Is it more realistic? If I had to guess, I've never seen it. Is it more realistic? Are they supposed to be like high schoolers? I don't know. So, out of the 3 franchises that you've mentioned, I've only seen one. But I appreciate that, Game Station. When do I get to read your book? I talked to my parents about that today. I need to record 3 more chapters. And recording and editing a chapter takes about 3 hours. Total. Like a total chunk of time. And it's very hard for me to find time where I have like 3 hours of nothing, you know? And I usually have to do it an hour here, 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there. And it just spans days, which, yeah. But yeah, hopefully soon. Carter Lovejoy, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. I greatly appreciate that. I removed the message earlier because what I said in it didn't feel worth mentioning. Sorry about that. Oh, no, don't apologize, man. No, don't apologize whatsoever. I appreciate you letting me know. Yeah, if you felt, was it in reference to all that kind of fandom minutes thing, I'm assuming. But yeah, sometimes it's good to just kind of like just ignore it, right? Just ignore some shit. Sometimes to me that's just like the best path. Just ignore it a little bit and just I don't know. Look at it as the silly shit that it is, right? It's always good. Oh, somebody asked, what is the book about? Oh, who said that? What book is this? Super Pineapple Jones. It is this book. It is this book. Boom. Sorry About the Mess by Hello Greedo. I plan on getting it out on May 4th. And yeah, we've been working on some stuff lately and haven't had much time of any to be able to finish it. But yeah, we'll see. The paperback is completely done. The audiobook is the only thing that I have to do, and I have to record 3 more chapters of the audiobook. Oop, there we go. Oop, wrong thing. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Greedo, remember when MTV actually played Duel of the Fates, the music video on the network, and it was a big deal? I don't know if I remember that. I don't think I remember that. Yeah, I don't think I remember that, to tell you the truth. I remember MTV, and I remember when MTV was actually a big deal. Man, MTV, talk about like the one of the first stations to just completely flip what it is. MTV, you got TLC, the Learning Channel. Yeah, okay. The Learning, yeah, right. History Channel, just a bunch of fucking Ancient Aliens nonsense. Discovery Channel, it's just a bunch of people like camping in the woods. building huts. I used to watch, I'm sure you did too, the MTV Spring Breaks back in the day. Yeah, I must have been younger than 10, and I would just watch, maybe around 10 or something like that. It's just crazy. Yeah. As a kid, I felt like, should I be watching this? Should I be watching this? These people are just so cool. Yeah, before YouTube and every video at your fingertips. I remember when they first premiered the video on MTV. Nice. Yeah, that like YouTube is the killer of a lot of ideas for networks, right? Showing music videos. Nobody's gonna tune into MTV to watch movies. I take that back. If MTV had like a nostalgia week where all they did was play 90s music videos, that's all they did, I bet they would get a decent sized viewer base if they marketed it, if they did that kind of stuff. Granted, it would be nowhere near the viewership that their stupid ass, like, what is it, Teen Mom shows and shit like that get, which is kind of crazy. Why do people watch that stuff? Why do people watch that stuff? I don't know. Well, do they still play music? I would assume they do at some point, right? Maybe like midnight to 4 in the morning? Maybe not. I don't know. What's up, Duke? Good to see you, man. It still surprises me that people do music videos even for YouTube. I never sit and watch a video just to listen to the songs. Certain music videos I like, when they're creative at least, and when there's something to them. If it's just like the band playing in a black and white stage and there's like slow motion rain and shit like that, no, that's stupid. But if there's like a really well put together music video, something that's fun, or what I like to do is go back and watch music videos on YouTube that I watched on MTV back in the day, like New Radicals, or Eve 6, anything, any like alternative stuff that I listened to back in the day or watched the videos. I love going back and revisiting them, But yeah. Grand Shock Trooper, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Do you guys remember when that Yoda, the reaction to that Yoda? I do. Grand Shock Trooper, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support, man. How many flannel shirts do you think George Lucas gets each Christmas/birthday? Also, today's the anniversary of Revenge of the Sith. Is it really? They were released on the same exact day? I didn't realize that. Of the Sith release date. Oh yeah, it is. Wow, interesting. I actually didn't know that. Attack of the Clones release date. May 16th. Okay. Nice. That's cool. I didn't realize that. So those are probably the only two Star Wars movies that have been released on the same day, right? Attack of the... Yeah. How many flannel shirts do I think George Lucas gets each Christmas birthday? I'm sure his, like, legitimate friends and family don't give him any, right? But I would be willing to bet that at least a few people send some flannel shirts to Lucasfilm headquarters. Wouldn't you think? To the ranch, to Skywalker Ranch. Wouldn't you think so? I would think so. At least a few people a year. We could start a... Oh my, that's a kind of a cool idea. We could start a flannel shirt drive and it would just call it like the George Lucas flannel shirt drive. And I have so many flannel shirts that don't fit me anymore. And I can't bring myself to get rid of them. That would be kind of a fun thing to do. A George Lucas flannel shirt drive where everybody sends them in and you just give them away. And I'm sure there's... I don't know. like people that need flannel shirts. Be kind of neat. But yeah, I appreciate that, Grand Shock Trooper. By the way, Greedo, this is Strange Love. Oh, nice. Oh, gotcha. By the way, this is Strange Love. Just changed my name back to my OG one. Well, I'm gonna miss the Strange Love. I'm gonna miss the Strange Love. I'm gonna miss that Strange Love. I appreciate that, man. I was happy when you Yahoo had music videos before they gave it away to YouTube. I remember, what is it? Was it Real Player? Is that what it was called? Spectacular Webhead. What fictional books have you read? Lately, the ones that I've read are Last Shot, the Han Solo book. I read a book called The Naturalist, which is a really good book. The Naturalist, is that what it's called? Yeah, The Naturalist by Andrew Mayne. So I bought a Kindle when my daughter was first born, and I ended up there's like a whole list of free books on the Kindle, and The Naturalist was a free book, and it was highly rated. And I read it. I couldn't put it down. It's kind of like a crime, murder, mystery, thriller book. Really good, really well written. So I highly recommend that. There's sequels to it, but I haven't read them yet. Other than that, lately, I've read Naturalist, Last Shot. What else did I read? Oh, I read the first Harry Potter book because that was free on the Kindle too. I'd never read it. And I couldn't put that down either. That was really well written too. I'm reading Bloodline right now, which is on track to be my favorite Star Wars book of all time. I'm 75% done with it, I think, according to my Kindle, and I love it, love it, love it. I am reading it so slow, though. I'm such a slow reader lately, just because I plop in bed and I'm ready to sleep. But yeah. What else? What else have I been reading? Fiction-wise. Nothing else in a while. Nothing else in a while. That was within like the past 8 months or so. Those. But yeah. Xander Rayleigh, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. You can't fight in here. This is the War Room. Dr. Strangelove. It's one of my all-time favorites, Xander. One of my all-time favorites. It deals with I just love how it takes serious matters and turns them on their head, and makes a mockery of all the machismo bullshit and nuclear weapons, and I love it. It's one of my all-time favorites. What year did that come out? Let's see. Uh, 64. 64. Wow. Yeah, if you guys haven't ever seen Doctor Strangelove, it's definitely worth a watch. It's a Stanley Kubrick movie. And you got to put yourself in the mindset of the Cold War and how ridiculous. It's basically a big satire on the military and our leadership and the idea of mutual destruction. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Fantastic. But I appreciate that, Xander. I appreciate that. Oh, let me see. One sec. And my phone is completely locked up. Sorry. What the fuck is wrong with this thing? Do you guys? Is there an app? Is there an app where your phone does not use data no matter what? Like, I'm not an app, but a setting on like a Google Pixel 2, where your phone will not use data, will not do anything unless you're on Wi-Fi other than text. Is there a feature to that? I don't know. Anyway. Maybe. Probably not. Because they're in cahoots with the providers, right? They want you to accidentally not be on Wi-Fi, huh? It would be the opposite of airplane mode, right? Because airplane mode, you can't receive texts and can't receive phone calls, correct? I want to receive phone calls and texts, but I only want the internet to work and whatnot. If I'm... Turn off cellular so you can text. You can use... What's up, Eli? Good to see you, man. At last we reveal ourselves to the Clone War. At last we will have character development. What's going on, man? Hey, HG, been a minute. What's up? Not much. Just, well, there's... Yeah, I'll tell you guys soon. It's all good stuff. But yeah. Good to see you, man. Yeah, it's hard to believe. 20 years, right? If you turn off cellular data, it's phone text only. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. I'll have to look into it. Bum, ba, ba, bum, bum, bum. What's up, John H? I can turn off mobile data and Wi-Fi. Game of Thrones ends tonight. What's going on, Stuart? Oh, you just retracted it. Yeah. Pretty excited. A little nervous, right? We got it going in about an hour. An hour and 5 minutes. We will be watching it. HBO ends tonight. There you go, Cole. What's the next phenomenon going to be, right? Who knows? I'm excited to see how it comes to an end. You know? My guess, what's everybody's predictions? My guess is that Dany is going to kill everyone and assume her position on the Iron Throne. That's my guess. Because I have always thought that Game of Thrones needed a realistic downer of an ending where the characters that you want to persevere and win don't. Because I like when Game of Thrones is ruthless with the characters that you like. But we'll see. Xander, really, thank you so much once again for the super chat and channel support. I greatly appreciate that, man. On May 25th, Alien turns 40. 40. Alien turns 40. Where was I? I wasn't even a thought. I wasn't even a thing. I wasn't even a cell. Well, I guess I was a cell. I'm a accumulation of billions of cells, trillions of cells, even. 40. That's weird for me to think. Like I can comprehend. Well, I don't know if it's weirder to think about, but like things that came before us that are made that are still around and viewable, you know, music, movies, all that kind of books, even things that preceded you. It's just kind of interesting to kind of look at the time capsule that they are, and yeah, it's like the Apollo 11 documentary that we watched the other night. If you guys haven't watched the new Apollo 11 documentary, watch it. I've seen, I mean, every documentary imaginable on that subject. For All Mankind, When We Left Earth. I own so many on DVD and Blu-ray, and this documentary was cinematic. It took old found footage, 70mm found footage that was in NASA's archive, that hadn't been seen in decades, that I had never seen even, and it's just absolutely incredible. So watch it. They did an amazing job. How's your daughter? She's good, man. She spent the day with my parents. They babysat her, and me and my wife had to we had to do some stuff today, and so yeah, my mom doesn't put her down for a nap though, because as soon as you put her down, she might start fussing. You kind of have to rock her for 15 minutes for her to fall asleep on your shoulder and then put her down. But whenever my mom goes to rock her or put her in her crib, she starts crying. and my mom feels bad and picks her up immediately. But if she would just leave her in there for 5 minutes, you know, she'd probably stop crying after a minute and be completely fallen asleep. So whenever we get her in the evening, she is super tired. Super tired. Well, yeah. GOT will end similar to Sopranos, whining for 6 months, then recognized as a great show once the whiners get past their version wasn't fulfilled. Dude, Matt, I watched Sopranos years after it was completed. Me and my wife probably watched Sopranos 3 or 4 years ago for the first time, and from start to finish. Loved it. I think it's my favorite series of all time. I think it's my favorite series. I didn't know that there was some kind of big disappointment with the ending. I liked the ending. I liked the kind of mystery of the ending. I liked that there's a connection earlier in the show where I'm trying to spoil anything, but there's a connection with earlier in the show where they're talking about, like, what do you think happens when you die, and Tony says something like, the lights go out, you know what I mean? And then what do we see at the series finale? Just kind of a nice put together, but yeah, I loved it, man. I loved it. I wasn't disappointed with it at all. I didn't even know about the disappointment. I should have realized it, because fucking fans always do that kind of shit. Headcanon from days of old, of early TV shows, right? To now. People always want things to go their way. And you can be disappointment, but don't stomp your feet, right? Creative people need to make creative things for themselves. And I had no idea that The Sopranos had like a giant backlash. But I liked it. Go back and read the reaction, same as each Star Wars movie. I believe it, Matt. I believe it. Man. Still have Doctor Strangelove pulled up over here. Oh yeah, young James Earl Jones is in there too. He's one of the he's an air crew. I love that movie. So yeah, tonight can you believe how much Roger Ebert loved The Phantom Menace? He even dedicated an entire episode of At the Movies to it. Yeah, I was reading his review for when I made my video. What was that? Last week, I think I made that. I didn't expect that, to tell you the truth. It was kind of fun to read. Like David Edelstein, the first review that I put on in my video. I watch him almost every Sunday morning on CBS Sunday Morning. You know, every once in a while he has a segment on there where he's talking about movies, and I didn't put 2 and 2 together that it was him until like I finalized my video and I was like, wait, oh, that's David Edelstein. Anyway, I did not expect Roger Ebert to be super positive. There were a few other reviews that were very, very glowing, which is kind of interesting. Opinions all over the place, and a lot of the opinions were more a lot of the positive opinions treated it as kind of like a technical marvel, right? Gushing over the technical marvel of it all, which is certainly true. And I kind of thought that a lot of the reviews that I read didn't really, or a lot of the positive reviews that I read just skimmed over like everything having to do with the story and just like majorly focused on the positives of the technical marvel of the entire film, you know. But yeah, it was cool to go back in time and read some of those things. I honestly feel bad for Rian Johnson. He probably won't be able to put his name on film without the Toxic Star Wars films crapping on it, and he is not a bad director. Yeah, I don't know. It's I don't think, well, I wish he would get off Twitter. I wish, like, some people, like, dude, if I would have zero desire. Sometimes I look at actors and I don't mean that I wish he was off Twitter. I don't really mean that. I wish, I just see Twitter as a huge waste of time. You know, I just see all this social media as a huge waste of time. And I just, like, sometimes I see actors and actresses and writers and stuff like that arguing with people online. And even if I agree with them or disagree with them, it's just like, what a giant waste of time all of this goddamn Twitter social media shit is. Like, do something creative. So, yeah, it's not like specifically directed at Rian Johnson. It's everybody that's in the spotlight. I don't understand. If I was like in the spotlight as a writer or something like that, I would have zero desire to be on social media at all. There's too much negativity. There's too much just trying to poke you and get you to respond. I just think it's like, I have an entire chapter devoted to it, and sorry about the mess, about social media, the negative implications, and how I've just become, become a hater of it, to tell you the truth. But yeah, I just see it as a giant time suck. Nothing good comes out of it. I don't know. But, alright guys, I gotta get ready for Game of Thrones. I got about 55 minutes until it's available on the HBO app. But yeah, so I appreciate everybody tuning in. This was a little bit of a celebration of the Phantom Menace, but as most of these streams go, if we have a topic of conversation, it always ends up being like 2% of the entire stream, because these streams always go all over the place. But yeah. I appreciate that, Cranky Old Geek. It's very eerily similar, and I don't think it's ever not going to be that way, you know? Matey Bindi, thank you so much. Maddie Bindi, sorry, Matey. Maddie Bindi, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. I greatly appreciate that. Big fan, Heart. Who is your favorite Phantom Menace character? That's an interesting question. It's not... Well, I guess most characters aren't specific. Are we talking specific Phantom Menace? Or are we talking they can also appear in other Star Wars films? So for me, it was Obi-Wan. My favorite... I don't know if it's because... I don't know if he was my favorite character in the Phantom Menace because he was maybe a little younger. And also, I knew of his character, obviously, in the original trilogy. And it was just neat to see him. But when it comes to the Phantom Menace, I don't know. I would probably say Obi-Wan or Qui-Gon as a kid. Now, at my age now and looking at the entire saga, I would say Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's with all the other prequels in the mix too. I like kind of the... I don't know. I I like what he becomes in the prequel trilogy. But, yeah, thank you. Thank you, Maddie. So, yeah, I would say Obi-Wan. He senses something. He's a little hesitant. He is kind of against training Anakin. But he gets pulled into it by a promise. Maybe he feels bad. I don't know. But yeah. I appreciate that, Maddie. And if you're going to watch Game of Thrones tonight, I hope you like it. I hope I like it. We'll see. All I want is just to be surprised. That's literally all I want for most fiction, is to be surprised, taken off guard, and go, oh, wow, I didn't expect that. That's all I want. I don't like when things are predictable. So do the exact opposite of what I want to happen in my head, please. Alright guys, I gotta get going. Let me run down the list real quick. Maddie Bendy, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Xander Rayleigh, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Grand Shock Trooper, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Carter Lovejoy, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Game Station 3, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Sully Hogs, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Carter Lovejoy, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Kyle McGowan, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Raptark, thank you for the super chat and channel support. Jared Montag, thank you for the super chat and channel support. And Matt, a.k.a. Star Killer. Thank you for the super chat and channel support. All right, guys. Game of Thrones time. I'm going to pop some popcorn. And, yeah. After Game of Thrones, I'm got to work on a video. I was planning on having a 20th anniversary of the Phantom Menace video up today. Life got in the way. So I'll have that up tomorrow. But it's not the 20th anniversary anymore. Whatever. It's never going to be. It's never going to be again. It's never going to be 20 years from the Phantom Menace. Because 20 years from now, I'll be 52. And then 20 years from then, I'll be 72. And then 20 years from then, I'll be 92. I'll probably be dead. Let's be real. All right, guys. Enjoy your evening. Hope you like Game of Thrones if you're going to watch it. And until I see you next time. Have a good one. See ya.